I go through stages. I go through glass stages and painting stages. I'm definitely painting stage just now. I haven't done any glass or any. No, I've done glass, but corporate glass or commission glass, but not any creative glass in a while. I quite like the mystery of having something that's slightly more abstract and maybe I think as an artist, well at least I like to keep something to myself and not explain it too much. I think if you explain one of your artworks too much, it almost kills it. You've got to leave a little bit of mystery for it to actually work, I think. A lot of I would say most of my work has got some sort of memory in it. There's especially the landscape, you can just see that's Caithness. See, when I'm here I'll paint Caithness, that's where I grew up, it's always just there. I think you just can't help but have something, you're just always, throughout your life, your things are happening to you, it's got to come out somehow. For me, I mean, I think it's really healthy. I use painting obviously as that vehicle, or glass as that vehicle, so it's, yeah, everything is going to be informed by some sort of memory, definitely. Sometimes it's quite surprising. There's a few paintings that I've done that I've no idea where I'm not intentionally gone and painted anywhere at all, and then suddenly, even maybe 2 or 3 weeks or longer afterwards, when I thought this abstract painting, which was just purples, a mix of purples, I'm looking at textures and tones and the rhythm of whatever, and then I'm going, oh, that's Rumster Forest, that's where I went to Guide Camp when I was 12. So it's funny, sometimes it takes you by surprise, and sometimes it takes other people to point out as well, like, oh, that looks like somewhere, and you're like, actually. So there's a strange kind of tension between what you know you're painting and what actually you're painting. When it gets too tight, use the bigger brush just to try and I do too much detail. Sometimes I've got to destroy them, or semi like actually be deconstructive or something, like, and to actually try and wreck them to make them much more interesting. You have to get to a stage, if they're getting too tight, you just got to sort of, so I might sometimes take it downstairs and throw paint at them. I know when a painting's finished when I just feel it is. Because especially with my townscapes, there's so many colours and so much going on in them, it's trying to find a balance point in that chaos. So I'll just keep painting, I'll keep adding, keep taking away, keep adding more lines, to keep changing colours, overlaying colours. And at some point you just can see that there's just a balance forming. It's just, there's something that you just know, and I can feel it's coming. And then sometimes it does, if I look at a painting and I see balance, nothing's jumping out at me, nothing's sort of like making me go, oh, there's something wrong there, then that's when I know. It becomes something else. But I quite often will paint, if I leave it, then I pretty much will just paint a whole new painting on top of it if I come back the next day. But I think that's because I'm such a changeable person. the way I paint is it's just this really expressive, bright, colourful way, and just to go with that is what I do now, rather than overthinking it too much. When you start it, and quite often with these I would just start painting and I will not stop until it's finished. However many hours it takes, you're kind of almost scared to leave it in case something changes or you have another conversation that your brain will go off in a different direction, so this idea that you had initially is suddenly a different thing. As soon as I opened the studio and I started teaching, I knew I loved it. It's very social, and I think that's why I love teaching so much, because people come in and I can hopefully immediately put them at their ease and make them feel that they can be creative without judgment, without anybody saying it's wrong. I hope that when people come to the studio and they actually achieve something they thought they couldn't, that they can maybe take that out into the real world and actually achieve things elsewhere.